Okay, let's get into it. This is how you can actually sign your first 5 SMMA clients within 90 days from watching this video today. Firstly, we need to identify why do you actually want this goal? Why do you want these 5 clients or this 10K per month if like your average client retainer is 2K per month? Why do you want this goal? There's a couple of things that could be the case, right? Either you want to quit your job, you want to become an entrepreneur, and you don't want to be working a 9 to 5. That's a really good reason, right? You might be going to school, you might hate school, you might want to drop out of school, you just don't want to go to school anymore, so you need some kind of way to figure out something else, and you obviously don't want to work a 9 to 5 after school. So there's a couple of things that I would really focus on is something from behind. You're not going to be super motivated by something like a big goal or something. You're more so going to be motivated by something you hate. Therefore, you need to find something you hate and make that your motivation. When things get hard, that's really what you need to remind yourself that, okay, if I don't do this, if I don't take these cold calls, if I don't take the sales call, well, then I'll need to work my 9 to 5 a lot more and a lot longer, right? So you kind of need a thing you need to remind yourself when things get hard, and trust me, things will get hard, right? So now let's get into kind of how you actually do this. So a strategy not many people know about is actually breaking down your goals. Let's say your goal is 10K per month or 5 clients, right? And let's just say you have a terrible closing rate of 10%. Well, then you're going to need to book 50 appointments in order to actually make this 10K per month. Now, already this sounds a lot easier than making 10K per month. Just book 50 appointments, right? But we can break this down even further. Let's say you have a time frame of 90 days, as I mentioned. Well, you're going to spend the first 14 or 15 days preparing everything before you can get fully started with the outreach. And you're also going to not be able to send as much outreach in the weekends. So really you have 54 weekdays in the 90 days where you can actually send outreach. This means that you need to book 0.93 appointments per day in these 53 days, which already sounds a lot easier than making 10K per month. But we can break this down even further to an actionable step you can take every day in order to make this goal happen, alright? Now, how are you actually going to book these 0.93 appointments per day? Well, what roughly equals one appointment? Let's just say in this case, 100 Instagram DMs or 100 Facebook DMs. It could also be 200 cold emails, 50 cold calls, 20 cold calls. I mean, really anything, but in this case, we'll be using the example of 100 DMs. If you then want 0.93 appointments per day, well, then you need to send 93 DMs per day, right? So that's your new goal. Instead of your goal being 10K per month, your goal is then 93 DMs per day. But what else? You can't really just send 93 DMs and you'll hit 10K per month. What else are you actually going to need? Well, you're going to need to set up a couple of things, which is what you'll be doing on day 1 to roughly 14, 15, right? So there's 6 main things you actually need. You'll need your service, you'll need your niche, and you'll need your Grand Slam offer. You'll also need to set up a couple of accounts, or this could also be a phone number in the case of if you're doing cold calling. But you basically need to set up some Instagram accounts if we were using the scenario of sending 100 DMs per day. You also need to set up a couple of scripts. This could be outreach scripts and sales scripts, and there's also some slight more things, right? So Calendly, Zoom, stuff like that, but which we'll get into. Firstly, your service. It's super simple. You need to pick a service and you need to learn it on YouTube, and you need to literally dedicate your life in these 14, 15 days to learning how to deliver that service. So yeah, that's really what I'd recommend you do. And obviously start with a not too complicated service, but I don't recommend you just go straight to media buyers, because they could fuck up your whole business. So you also need a Grand Slam offer, because if you don't have a Grand Slam offer and you're competing with people who have a Grand Slam offer, well, then you'll simply get destroyed and you won't be able to book any appointments. So you need to hear $100 million offers by Alex Hormozi for completely free on Spotify, and you really need to take action on this step, because this book has really changed my perspective on business and offers as a whole. So you really need to hear this book, and it is completely free on Spotify. You can also find it on YouTube somewhere, I think, if you don't have Spotify. You need to pick your niche. You need to think of 2, maybe 3 things here. The first one is saturation. Is your niche too saturated? Well, if any popular SMA YouTubers mention that niche a lot of times, you probably shouldn't pick it, because there'll be a lot of people in that niche. Only if you have like a super good offer that not anyone else is doing, right? Then you can obviously pick like pretty much any niche you want. Now, you also need to think of service market fit. Does my niche actually want the offer that I have? Because if they don't, well, then you obviously either have the wrong offer or the wrong niche. So you need to think about that. Also, if you do have any kind of experience with some niche, well, then you should probably pick that. Even if like one of these factors go a little bit down, it's probably better to pick a niche that you're familiar with. Now, as I said, you're going to need a rough idea on how you're going to deliver your service, because if you don't have that, if you just have a service that you're like, okay, it's kind of how you do this, well, then you're not going to sign any clients, because you're not going to have any conviction or belief in your sales calls that you can actually like get them results, so you're not going to want to sign them as much. And also, if you don't have a rough idea on how you're actually going to deliver your service, you're going to be kind of scared of actually signing clients, onboarding clients, because you don't really know what the hell you're doing, right? So, and you obviously don't want to fuck up your clients' money or life. You don't want to lose them a lot of money, because you're a good person, right? Okay, now that you have a rough idea on how you can actually deliver your service, you need to set up a couple of accounts, and that is in the case that you're doing Instagram or Facebook or something like that. Let me just show you exactly what I would do. So there's this website called c2u.com, and you can go here. You can buy old accounts from Instagram or Facebook. Let's see. Okay, accounts, we can go and view all. We can search, in this case, we'll say Instagram. Search it up, and it should come right here. Yeah, you can go into this, and what you want to be looking for is aged accounts. And if you do want to spend a little bit more money, you can get aged account for like $3 each. But if you do want to spend some more money, you can get old accounts that actually also have some followers, and real followers, right? Because if you get that, well, then your reply rate is going to be a little bit higher, and it's going to be overall a little bit easier to book appointments, right? So you're just going to want to scroll here for a while until you find like some service that you think is good, and you want to buy roughly 3 accounts if you were to send 100 DMs per day, okay? So once you've done that, and once you've actually bought these accounts, you need to set up these accounts. And the main thing here is you want to look professional. You want to look like you know what you're doing, even though you probably don't, right? So this is an example of a really optimized profile. There's a nice profile pic. There's a nice name, like Luke Jackson, that is his name, and then his agency is like kind of shortened to MX. He's also verified, which you probably can't get right now. And then key thing here, he has a headline: scaling agencies and coaches to 15 to 30K per month, hiring growth teams and inbound lead funnel. And then he has a free training on how you can actually get from 0 to 10K per month within 3 days. How he went from 0 to 10K a month in 3 days, okay? So when you look at this profile, you think automatically that this guy is like, he knows what he's doing, right? Because he has a lot of professional pictures. He has a picture with a client. Obviously, you won't be able to get this in the start, but if you do have the money for it, you should like get some kind of photo shoot or something like that, where you just look a little bit more professional. And if you want to invest even more, you need to really build out your personal brand, like he's doing, posting the short form content, which also looks super professional. And also, clients are going to be a lot more willing to book a call with you if they can actually hear what you sound like, kind of get a little bit of a feel of what your personality is like, which is why he posts this content, and why he also has a YouTube channel, which is also kind of what I'm doing, right? Okay, you now have your free Instagram accounts aged and optimized. Let's just get into a couple of scripts. So you need your outreach scripts. I would just watch this video right here. It's really good. It covers pretty much everything you need to know. And for sales scripts, I would watch these 2 videos, and I'll also link them in the description, all right? There's also a couple upfront costs you're gonna need to take care of, but it's only like $100, right? So Calendly, $15 per month. Zoom, $15 per month. If you buy the Instagram accounts, that will be $10 if you buy like pretty bad but aged accounts, and $50 if you buy like some accounts that has followers and stuff like that. You also need Slack to communicate with your clients and your team, but they have a 30-day free trial, so you should be good. You also need Stripe. This is where you actually collect your payments, but they'll just take a percentage of that payment. let's get into the fun part, which is actually day 15 till 90. You need to figure out your acquisition process. All these acquisition processes are pretty easy to get started in, so you can pretty much pick with whatever one you lean more towards, right? So Instagram, Facebook, cold calling, or emails. As I said, with Instagram and Facebook, it's roughly 100 DMs per call. If you actually DM the right prospects and you make a fairly good message, well, then it's roughly 100 DMs per call. And you only need 0.9 free appointments per day, so you can just send 90 free DMs per day. Obviously, you should probably just send 100 just to make sure you will actually reach your goal. With cold calling, it's a little bit easier. You can probably cold call like 20. If you're good at like cold calling, you can probably cold call 20 and you'll get a client, or you'll get an appointment. Sorry, but if you're like pretty shit, which you probably will be in the start, you're probably gonna have to cold call like 50 people, right, to actually get an appointment. Congratulations, you've now scheduled around about 5-10 appointments, and you've now gotten your first client. Now you really need to dig deep. You need to learn your onboarding process, and you need to really learn your service delivery, and you need to focus a lot of energy on all of these clients. But do not take it too far. Don't take it like, a good saying in SMMA is your next client is your best client. So don't focus all your energy on this one client that you've just gotten, because if you just get a couple more clients, money will solve your problem, and I promise you will be able to deliver your service if you already have a rough idea and if you get some money in the bank. All right, so this is really what I would do if I were to sign my first clients in 90 days, and I really believe that this system is like super valuable. So if you took any kind of value from this video, I would really appreciate it if you like or anything like that. And also, if you already have a couple of clients and you want to scale your agency even further, you can book a call with me under this video and I'll show you exactly how we can help you.